The dragon screamed as the spear pierced her wing, the sound ripping through the night like the sky itself was breaking. Ash fell like black snow, and blood steamed where it touched the cold mountain stone. Gale dropped his sword, unaware why his hands shook. Only that something ancient inside him refused to let her die. Kale was nothing special. He was a foot soldier, the kind whose name commanders forgot and whose death would be written as a number on a page. His armor was dented, his cloak torn, his body thin from years of hunger and war. The other soldiers called him Ghost because he spoke little and seemed already half gone. He had been born unwanted, raised in camps, trained to obey without asking why. The world had taught him early that mercy was weakness and kindness a lie men told themselves before killing. That night, the order was simple. Kill the dragon, burn the nest, bring proof. They said she was a monster, a plague, a curse that poisoned crops and ate children. Kings had offered gold, and priests had promised salvation for her death. But when Kale saw her up close, broken and bleeding beneath the moon, he did not see a monster. He saw a mother. The dragon lay tangled in chains of glowing runes, her massive body trembling with pain. One wing was shredded, black scales torn away to reveal raw flesh. Her golden eyes burned with fury and fear, not for herself, but for the cracked stone cave behind her eggs. Kale realized then what the others had not cared to see. She was guarding something. A horn sounded behind him. The captain shouted for the final strike. Kale moved without thinking. He stepped between the spears and the dragon. "Stop," he said. His voice barely louder than the fire's laughter that followed. "Someone call him mad." Another raised a crossbow. The captain sneered. "Move, Ghost, or die with it." Kale looked back at the dragon. Her breath was ragged. Smoke curled from her wounds. Her eyes met his ancient knowing. As if she had already judged his soul, he made his choice. Kale turned and cut the rune chain binding her wing. Magic flared, searing his arms. He screamed but kept cutting. Arrows flew. Pain exploded in his side. Another struck his leg, blood soaking the stone. But the chain broke. The dragon roared. Fire burst from her chest. Not in rage, but in desperation. Soldiers burned. Screams filled the air. Chaos swallowed commands. With her last strength, she lunged forward, crushing the cave entrance with her body, shielding the eggs from fire and steel. Kale crawled toward her, vision fading, expecting death. Warmth surrounded him. Years passed. The world changed, but not for the better. Kale lived alone near the mountains, a broken man in a broken cabin, healing slowly. Sometimes he heard wings in the clouds. Then came the fire one winter night. A village below the mountain burned. Shadows moved in the smoke, small, fast hatchlings. His heart pounded. They had found them. Kale did not think he was one man against trained soldiers, but he had already died once in the village square. He stood between the soldiers and 3 young dragons, their scales dull, wings torn by nets. They hissed and snapped, terrified. The captain raised his blade. "Move!" Old man Kale shook his head. "You'll have to kill me first." The soldiers laughed. The sky darkened. A shadow passed over the moon. The ground trembled as a massive shape descended. Scales glowed like embers beneath ash. She roared and the world listened. Soldiers fled. The dragon lowered her head to him, then spoke. Not with sound, but with a voice that filled every corner of his soul. "Guardian." Kale fell to his knees, tears burning his eyes. "I failed you," he whispered. "I couldn't protect them." "You did," she answered. "You chose." The hatchlings crawled toward him, pressing their small, warm heads against his battered armor. He felt their fear ease, their trust settle like a weight and a gift. The dragon mother turned to the soldiers who remained, her eyes cold. "Leave," she said, "or be remembered as ash." They ran. As dawn broke, the dragon mother prepared to depart, guiding her young toward hidden peaks beyond human reach. Kale watched, heart aching. Knowing this was goodbye, the dragon paused. "You are bound to us," she said, "not by blood but by choice." She touched her forehead to his chest. Power surged through him, not strength but understanding. He saw futures where dragons and humans burned each other to dust, and futures where they stood together against darker things still sleeping beneath the world. "Guard this place. Guard the stories," she said. 2 years later, travelers spoke of a man who lived near the mountains where fire never crossed a certain line. They said dragons flew above his home but never harmed him. Hatchlings called him guardian and slept near his fire without fear. Kale grew old, but never alone. And when his final breath left him, the sky burned gold. Not in mourning, but in promise. Because some bonds are stronger than fear, and some choices echo forever. Please follow my channel for more videos. One click from you can change my life.